He gets my competitive juices flowing like no one else can. All right? But here's the thing. Even though he talks a lot, something that he'll say, and he said in his own talk, like for the sports analogy, you would think he might be an Allen Iverson or a Kobe Bryant, a little bit of a show-off. He's a Tim Duncan. Right? He's consistent in what he's going to talk about today. Work ethic. He puts up that 23 to 25 points, 10 to 15 rebounds, 2 or 3 blocks every single night out on the court. All right, so let's bring up leader of Team Genesis.
My team just took half of my talk right now, but anyhow, guys, this is just a phenomenal event. Every Wealth Bowl, I just get fired up, guys. Aren't you fired up? And here's the thing. I know it's the second half. You're still digesting lunch right now, but can we make it an absolute promise to ourselves that we're going to finish strong? Yes or no? Yes. Awesome, guys. I was actually, during lunch, I was in the restroom, and I was next to one of our associates, at the urinal, and so he goes, and it's like a weird time to talk to somebody, you know what I mean? It just really is. And so he leans over and he's like, it's a great event, huh? Yeah, man, it's a great event, dude. You learning a lot? And he goes, yeah. I said, do me a favor. I said, promise me one thing. You're going to implement everything that you learned at this event, today, and you're going to go back home and kill it. And he goes, I promise. I said, good. Shake on it. Anyway, all right. So, moving forward, guys. I've got some. It's funny how they would play that the video of J.P. Morgan Chase. My mom worked at J.P. Morgan Chase for 13 years of her life, long time, and it's completely uncoordinated. And she worked the job, and I watched I come from a very low to middle income family over in New York City. Any New Yorkers in the house by any chance? A couple of you guys, all right, cool. In New York, they say, how you doing? How you doing is just a form of greeting. It's not really a question. Nobody gives a crap how you're doing in New York. So I know that we got the New York trip coming up. For those of you that qualify, when somebody says, how you doing, don't take it literally, okay? So in any case, guys, we're excited. We're fired up, ready to be here. And, like I said, I come from very humble beginnings, low to middle income backgrounds. And I watched my parents kind of scrape by through life. My dad is a musician. My mom, worked a job, and she ended up becoming a flight attendant. And she was based over in New York, and then they changed her base to LAX. So we came out here, but I grew up the only child. Obviously, when your mom's a flight attendant, you're not going to really get to see your parents very often. My mom and my dad's constantly out there working on his dream. But I'm thankful for both of them because, they taught me the value of hard work. My mom taught me how to be responsible from a savings and money fiscal perspective. I think that's a big deal nowadays, where you make a lot of money, but you also spend a lot of money. It's not about what you make, guys. It's about what you keep. So I know we talk about the American dream. The American dream only happens with a big savings account. So let me make that perfectly clear to everybody right now. And then my dad, on the other side, he was very entrepreneurial minded. He said he was more of a pursue your dreams type of guy. Go out there and accomplish what you want to accomplish and live it out. You only get to live one time, right? So I'm glad I got the best of both worlds from my folks. And, I'm kind of a very, as Phil said, a great introduction, I'm a very boring guy. okay? I'm a very boring guy when it comes to business. I know how to have a good time outside of business, but in the business, I'm very meticulous, I'm very boring. I'm not a Kobe Bryant type. I'm not a LeBron James type. I'm not a go out there and get, and when it comes to my system, I'm not very flashy. I'm very, very, meticulous, like I mentioned. I am a Tim Duncan type. Anybody familiar with Tim Duncan? He just retired from NBA. And he has more accolades than Kobe Bryant. I think one of the biggest things that I can probably teach you, and I'm going to go into my talk in a second, my slide, one of the biggest things that I can teach you is that I was extremely coachable and still am to this day to my upline, and I took everything that my upline said to me literally. Okay, did you catch that? I took everything that my upline told me to do literally. Show up to the meeting early, 6:30 p.m. is pregame. I'm there 6:30, sometimes 6:15. I show up to the meeting. He said, be the last one to leave. I'm the last one to leave. I said, you know what? If there's other people in the office, they got to still be busy. They got to still be doing something. So I got to sit back and I got to go be doing something and maybe work on my business plan or talk to a couple more of my teammates. He said, you know what? Every single month you got to do 3-3-30. In fact, the winners shoot for 5 direct recruits. So every single month on my mind is 5 direct recruits. He said, be a personal example. Be a personal example. He said, write 10 to 20,000 personal points every single month. I said, okay, I'm going to write 10 to 20,000 points every single month. He said, be the first one to register for the big event. I go the extra mile. So I'm not just going to be the first one to register for the big event, but I'm going to go buy tables. I'm going to go buy extra tickets because I expect to take teammates with me to these big events. That's the purpose of the Wealth Bowl. The purpose of the Wealth Bowl, guys, they always say, it's not about saying new stuff to old people. It's about saying old stuff to new people. Does that make sense? How many of you guys are brand new? First Wealth Bowl. Raise your hand, look around the room. In fact, stand up if it's your first Wealth Bowl. Stand up if this is your first Wealth Bowl. Look around you. Okay? Let's give these guys a round of applause. First Wealth Bowl. Okay? So, my message to you is simple. Okay? Can you stay? Do you have staying power, and can you be at the next Wealth Bowl? That's the key. It's a great job for you guys showing up here, but hopefully you make some money, right? If you implement what we're telling you to do, hopefully you go back home ready to kill it, and hopefully you go back and make some money so that next year you go and upgrade yourself, right? You don't have to worry about having a piece of bread and, walking uphill and, being in the cold and walking from LA to Palms, whatever the great stories are out there, you don't have to worry about that stuff anymore, okay? So that feels awesome. So let's go into my PowerPoint here just for a second. I want to talk to you guys about a few key mentalities to achieve the American dream, okay? And something that, some of the things that I feel that we excel at. Let's go to the next one. Do I have a clicker here? It's, is it here somewhere? Oh, right here. Perfect. Okay, so let's talk about a couple of qualities that you need in order for you to be able to win big here. I feel that the number one thing is intensity. How intense are you? You see, the way I'm talking right now, I'm like this all the time. All the time. They say energy rules the world, and your intensity is magnetic. You know that just by adding a little bit of verve, just by adding a little bit of passion to what you say, that you can move people. It's not about what you say, it's about how you say it, how they took it, and the way that people take it is based off of your intensity. It's based off your ability to fluctuate your voice a little bit. It's based off your ability to know exactly what you want to talk about, what you want to discuss. And I'm intense with my team because that's the only way to get the message across. Let me tell you guys something right now. The American dream is not corporate America. In corporate America, they aren't very intense, right? They aren't very intense. In fact, they actually get mad at you for being intense, don't they? Right? Everybody should be crammed into their cubicles like a bunch of sardines. Everybody should just mechanically and methodically just do one thing, and you should shut up about it. Don't talk about money. Don't talk about your job. Don't talk about your promotion. In fact, that's showing off if you talk about your promotion, right? At your job, your little 50-cent raise, right? And then it's showing off if you upgraded your little Hyundai to a Mercedes-Benz, right? C-Class, right? That's what I call it, a C-Class. It's average, right? And you got to start to understand that upgrading your stuff, people don't want to talk about that stuff. In WFG, in WFG, if you're a real leader, if you're a real champion, when somebody's winning, you clap the loudest, man. When all my counterparts are winning, I clap the loudest. When JR's winning, I clap. When David Lynn's winning, I clap. When Mark Juthar's winning, I clap. Nick's winning, I clap. Yariv, Josh, you name it, right? Because I'm all about watching my teammates win, because my identity is not precedented based on what they do. Whether they're ahead of me or behind me, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we're all going towards the same goal, and I feel that in our business, we spend so much time worrying about what other people are doing that we forget to take care of our own backyard. Our own grass is dying, other people's is getting greener because we forget to water it. Does that make sense? Yes. So you got to focus on being intense, right? Isn't it true when you're intense, you're magnetic? Isn't it true that you attract other people? I don't know about you guys, but whenever I speak, I wanted to make it a point, man. I saw G speak, he's super intense. I saw Ed Milet speak, he's super intense, right? And these guys have been the same exact way ever since I've known them. Let me ask you a question. When you're shy, when you're timid, when you're reserved, what good does that do for you and your business? In fact, what good does that do in your life?
Nothing.
Does it serve you at all?
Hell
Can
no.
anybody think of one thing that being shy actually serves you at?
No.
I can't. So I got rid of that. If you're shy and timid, it's okay when you first get started here, but you got to immediately get rid of that mentality. Moving forward, next one is relentless. Guys, you got to be relentless. I think another big key to my business is as I'm a relentless worker. You know what's funny is that my teammates see that I'm relentless, so they're also very relentless. You know, Angela Yumo's relentless at getting 10, 15 direct recruits every single month. I think rolling 12, she's at 85, 90 recruits rolling 12 months, right? And because of that, obviously she's an SMD and she's on her way to a $250,000 ring. Wisely Chen and Sophia Su are relentless at showing up to meetings regardless of where their cash flow's at, a good month, bad month. They're six-figure ring earners, regardless of where their team is, team grows, team shrinks. They're relentless at showing up. They're relentless at putting in the work. I can say the same for the majority of my SMDs, and the majority of that translates to my base shop guys. They watch me come in, day out. I walk into the office, guys, not to screw around. I walk in with a purpose. Does that make sense? Okay? You guys got to walk into your office with a purpose. What did you go there for? Is it to say hi? Is it to look really cool with your little coffee? Right? What did you go to the office for? Hopefully you went to the office to make calls. Hopefully you went to the office to go do a one-on-one. Hopefully you went to the office to go and have a KTP. Hopefully you went to the office to go phone zone with some teammates. You see, there's a lot of things that we do on a regular basis that just rattle off the tip of my tongue because we do them every day. It's not something that's foreign to us. We won't walk in the office just to go, hey, I'm going to be at the office. How often are you in the office? Guys, it matters how often you're in the office, but actually physically doing work that counts as physically being face-to-face with people or being on the phone with people to set up face-to-face meetings with people. Make sense? Yes. Okay? Be relentless in your work ethic because consistency, as you can see right here, is contagious. Isn't it? Yeah. Right? Consistency, guys, super contagious. Super contagious. You know why? Because think about it. If I walk up, let's say, for example, David Oliveira, could you come up here just for a second? Let's give David Oliveira a round of applause. By the way, he's a brand new father. Brand new father, right? Awesome. So if David, let's say, for example, walk real slow that way, David. Walk real slow that way, okay? Walk real slow. If I'm a leader and I'm constantly walking by, I'm just like, hey, what's going on, David? Gotta go, right? If I do that day to day, day after day after day, guess what? Is he going to eventually catch on and pick it up? Yeah. Yes, because it's contagious. Consistency, him seeing it over and over again, he's going to consistently see me do it, and he's going to pick it up. So leaders in this room, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. Leaders in this room, okay? Leaders in this room, what you do is contagious, good or bad. Good or bad. If you have good habits, that's contagious. If you have bad habits, that's also contagious. How often are you in the field? How often are you accountable? How often do you do the business the right way? So all this stuff's a little bit higher level, but you gotta absolutely have to be consistent. You must be relentless through adversity. Okay? Gotta be relentless through adversity. You guys are going through some troubles right now, some challenges. Nick came up here and talked about that a little bit. Man, I applaud him because he's relentless through his adversity. Okay? You still continue to put in the work. You can't tell whether I'm having a good day or a bad day just by looking at me. Does that make sense, guys? Don't wear your adversity on your face. Focus. Third one is focus. Whatever you focus on, you will attract, positive or negative. Whatever you focus on, you will attract. Have a recruiting focus. Have a production focus. These are the only two things that govern our business. right, is the recruiting focus and the production focus. You get the production focus based off of the amount of recruits that you bring in. If you want your teammates to, if you want to have a big base shop, you want to recruit BBC 20 into BBC 30 and BBC 40, here's the key. The key is you've got to personally do it yourself. I know this is not the first time you've heard this, but you've got to personally get 3, 4, 5 wide every single month, because you can't give what you don't have. You cannot give information, or you can't give advice on how to recruit BBC 20 or 30 if you don't have any personal directs yourself. Every single year since I've been in the company, we've never done less than 35, 40 direct recruits. Every single year we've been in the company since 2009. My first year, in fact, my only award at convention was a personal recruiting award. I'd rather take that award over any other award. I think that's the best award any brand new person can get, is recruiting. So you're going to watch tomorrow at the gala, you're going to watch how many people, I always pay attention to how many people do personal direct recruiting, right? Because when you walk across the stage for that, that's a big deal, because that actually is the hardest thing to do in our company, is personal direct recruiting. All this other stuff is fluff compared to your personal. That's very, very important. So have a focus on that. And that leads to production. Competitiveness. Oh, shit. And I could go for hours on this, but I got just a minute. So competitiveness, guys, you got to learn how to thrive off competition. Compete with someone else, not just yourself. Many of you guys are scared to compete with somebody else. You go, oh, I'm just going to compete with myself. Yes, compete with your own personal best, but you also got to learn how to compete with others. You know, and part of be obsessed when you compete. Let me tell you something right now. Why Phil introduced me the way he did, I'm obsessed when I compete. I think that our team, I think every leader should feel the same way. I think our team is the best team in the company, bar none. I think we're the most energetic. I think we have the best future. Oh, yeah. We compete to the very highest levels, right? It doesn't matter what. I'm not one of these leaders that just kind of lie in the weeds. If I agree or disagree with something, I say it, right? I'm a very boisterous, upfront, no BS, no bullshit mentality. Just give it to you right in your face, and that's the bottom line. Guys, we came here, we're excited to learn here. We're going to implement what we learned here, but we came to compete tomorrow night at the gala. Yeah. Okay, make no mistake about it. They developed awards for a reason, and you're going to have to kill us and kill me to go take that MVP from us. So all of you guys get a little bit more competitive in your lives, right? A little bit more competitive, and I promise life will pick up for you. Have a great 2018. Thank you.